All right, here we go. What's good? Welcome in. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles now. I'm Chase Senior. Hope all of you out there are getting set to have a fantastic weekend. A great show on tap for you today as we take a look ahead at the 2023 regular season, and I'm going to predict where the Philadelphia Eagles will finish in the NFC East. Before we begin, though, this is today's poll question, so get those predictions in down in the comment section right now. Who wins this division? And can the Eagles repeat as NFC East champions for the first time since the early 2000s when Donovan McNabb, Andy Reid, and the boys were running through this division? Is it the Eagles, Commanders, Giants, or Dallas? Let me know down below. Let's first take a look at the Eagles' 2023 schedule. This is a little bit of a refresher for those of you who have kind of forgotten about the slate this upcoming season. Week 1, Eagles on the road against the New England Patriots. Week 2, home opener at Lincoln Financial Field against the Minnesota Vikings. Short week on Thursday Night Football. Week 3 on the road, another primetime matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Week 4, divisional play gets underway against the Washington Commanders. Week 5, you go cross-country to the Los Angeles area, Inglewood to be specific, to play the Los Angeles Rams. Week 6, cross the country once again. You go up I-95 North. Thankfully, the road is finally repaired. You take on the New York Jets. Miami Dolphins in Week 7. Washington Commanders on the road Week 8. About the halfway point of the regular season here, the Birds will host the Dallas Cowboys. I think the bye week comes at a really good time in Week 10. Then this is really an onslaught for the Eagles' schedule here in 2023. Week 11, Chiefs on the road for Monday Night Football. Week 12, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills at Lincoln Financial Field. So that right there is a tough stretch, but it continues. You take on the San Francisco 49ers in a rematch of the NFC Championship game in Week 13. Then you go to the Dallas area to take on the Cowboys in Arlington at Jerry World in Week 14. Week 15, a trip to the Pacific Northwest to play the Seattle Seahawks. Then it starts to get a little bit easier here. Can you once again pull off the sweep against the New York Giants? We'll be celebrating Christmas together with the watch party here on the show because that game will take place on Christmas Day. And then the Eagles round out the regular season schedule against the Arizona Cardinals and once again the New York Giants for the second time in 3 weeks. We're going to take a look at the divisional foes schedules as well, and then a breakdown of where the Eagles will finish in this division. But first, do me a favor, share this video. If you like the content that we give you on a daily basis, year-round coverage of the Birds as well, that I like to think is insightful, informative, and entertaining, click that share button, select the Twitter icon, post this video to Twitter, and if you tag me on Twitter, at Chase_Senior, I'll give you a shout out. So that's who the Eagles play this year. How about the Dallas Cowboys here? Giants, Jets, Cardinals, Patriots. Those are the first 4 games for Dallas this year, with 2 road games sprinkled in against the G-Men and against Arizona. Then the Dallas Cowboys go on the road to take on the 49ers on Sunday Night Football. That'll be one of the most watched games in the regular season this year. On the road against the Chargers, I imagine they'll stay out on the West Coast. Their bye week a little bit earlier than Philadelphia's Week 10 bye. Their bye week comes in Week 7. Week 8 against the Rams. And then kind of a stretch here that's intriguing. Week 9 on the road against the Eagles. Divisional game against the Giants. Week 11 on the road against the Panthers, who I think are going to surprise some people. Thanksgiving matchup against the Washington Commanders. Week 13, they get the Seahawks at home. I think Seattle going to be much improved this year. Week 14, another matchup against the Birds on Sunday Night Football. Week 15 on the road against the Bills, then on the road against the Dolphins. Home against the Lions on a Saturday matchup, and then they round out the regular season schedule against the Commanders on the road in Week 18. New York Giants, Week 1 against the Cowboys, Week 2 on the road against the Cardinals, Week 3 on the road against the 49ers, Thursday Night Football, Week 4, Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football, Dolphins on the road in Week 5, Bills on the road in Week 6. That's a tough back-to-back there. And then another road game against the Commanders in Week 7. Week 8, they get Aaron Rodgers and the Jets at home. Week 9 on the road in Las Vegas, the site of Super Bowl 58. Hopefully the Birds will be playing there. Week 10 against the Cowboys on the road. Week 11 against the Commanders. Week 12, Patriots. Week 13 bye. It's one of the later bye weeks for all 32 teams in the NFL. Week 14, Packers. After that, on the road against the Saints, on the road against the Eagles, then Rams and Eagles to round out their regular season schedule. My thoughts coming up around the corner, but first, how about the Commanders slate? Cardinals, Broncos, Bills, Eagles. That's the first month for Washington. Sam Howell going to be the quarterback? You kidding me? Then it's Bears Thursday Night Football, Falcons on the road, Giants on the road, Eagles at home in Week 8. Week 9 on the road against the New England Patriots, then on the road against Seattle, Giants at Cowboys, home against the Dolphins. Week 14 bye for Washington here, and then it's on the road against the Rams, on the road against the Jets, on the road against the San Francisco 49ers, and then Week 18 against the Dallas Cowboys. So those are all of the schedules across the NFC East. Can the Philadelphia Eagles be repeat winners in this division? There's been no repeat winner in the NFC East since 2004 when the Eagles were running roughshod through the NFC East. There's no reason why the Birds shouldn't be able to once again capture this division. They're the best all-around team in this division. They have the best quarterback in Jalen Hurts, the best offensive line in this division. They have a far superior defensive line than any other team. Dallas, New York, and Washington. Their skill players are very elite, not just among the teams in the NFC East, but among all teams in the National Football League. And coaching. Which coach in the NFC East is better than Nick Sirianni, who's been wildly successful in his first 2 years? I think he's criminally underrated with what he's been able to do. Made the playoffs in year 1 during a rebuild, Super Bowl in year 2, and they're running it back. You know, they lost Isaac Seumalo, the right guard, Miles Sanders, the running back. Defensively, you lost Javon Hargrave, Kaiser White, TJ Edwards. You lost your 2 starting safeties in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Marcus Epps, but they replaced them with some viable replacements. And then the Eagles' defense is the best all-around defense in this division, too. Questions about some of the other teams in the NFC East. Mike McCarthy will be calling the plays. They let go of Kellen Moore. Did Dallas? I think that the Cowboys' offense might suffer because of it. And can the Cowboys finally win a big game? Is Dak Prescott mid? I think he is. What's life like without Ezekiel Elliott? They did bring in Brandon Cooks to be their number 2 wide receiver, but at this point of his career, is he a good complement to CD Lamb? For the New York Giants, it's pretty simple. How good is Daniel Jones? Their wide receiver core is still a problem, in my opinion. Is Saquon Barkley going to play for the Giants this year if they don't work out a contract extension? And the depth of talent isn't close to Philadelphia, who pulled off the trifecta sweep against New York a year ago. And then for Washington, are they really going to start Sam Howell? They also have Jacoby Brissett in that quarterback room. I think Ron Rivera is potentially on the hot seat. And if the Commanders start off this season slow, I think that he could get fired with Eric Bieniemy waiting in the wings. So when you canvass this Eagles roster, when you look at the success that they had last year and how good they were, 14-3, when they were dominating opponents, really playing well in this division. I know they've had their issues with the Dallas Cowboys before. Last year, they didn't beat them twice with Dak Prescott as the starting quarterback. Cooper Rush was the quarterback in the first matchup at Lincoln Financial Field, but it's time to end the Cowboys' streak of playing well against Philly, and if they do that, the Eagles will be repeat winners in this division for the first time since 2004. Make sure you share this video on social media. Don't forget to subscribe to the show. I hope all of you out there are able to sit poolside with a beer and enjoy your weekends. And if you're taking in our Eagles content, that's great as well.